Good morning, good morning. Hello, and how are you? I'm just fine, and I hope that you are too. Good morning, friends. Let's do our calendar. Our month is May. Yesterday was Thursday. What day comes after Thursday? Friday. Today is Friday. Yesterday was the 7th. After 7 comes 8. Today is the 8th. Draw that 8. May 8th. Our year, can you read this large number? 2020. Okay, I'm going to say the whole date together. Today is Friday, May 8th, 2020. We are still in the season of spring, and our weather, I can't see the blue sky, and I can't see the sun. What do you think that means about the weather? Where I am, it is very cloudy. I think that the meteorologists, the people who let us know what the weather's going to be like, I think they said it's going to rain today. But it has not started raining yet. Right now, our weather is cloudy. All right, we are going to go ahead and start with our sign language letters today. So before I teach you the new one, let's review. A, B, K, D, E, G, E, J, K, O. Can you guess what today is? What sound does this letter make? To make an in sign language, put your hand up, take your thumb, stretch it so it's in between your pinky and your ring finger, and then close your hand down. If your thumb isn't long enough, just get it the closest you can. As your hand keeps growing, then it'll be easier. Okay, I'm going to do our poem. I had an a bouncing letter It was a monkey, a furry little friend. He picked up a moose, he picked up a mouse, and drove a motorcycle to my house. So for this poem, we need to know how to do For monkey, kind of like, you know how a monkey goes, ooh, 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 ah, ah, ah. Except we don't need to make those sounds. We'll just do this. Monkey. For moose, you make your antlers. For mouse, you know how mouses like to twitch their little nose? You can do that. And then motorcycle, like you're holding the handlebars. Okay, let's do the poem together. I had an a bouncing letter It was a monkey, a furry little friend. He picked up a moose, he picked up a mouse, and drove a motorcycle to my house. These poems are so silly. All right, let's take a look at our North America map to see which country we're going to learn about today. You want to count with me? Oh, I have a great idea. Since we are talking about some new countries, and some of these countries, they speak Spanish. So let's count in Spanish. If you don't know how, I'll teach you right now. So when we count to 3 in English, we say 1, 2, 3. Spanish is another language. To count in Spanish, we would say uno, dos, tres. Do it again. Uno, dos, tres. All right, let's count to 3 in Spanish, and then we'll look at our North America map to see what the new country is. Ready? Uno, dos, tres. All right, we're looking back at our North America map. Before we introduce the new country, let's rename the ones we've already talked about. We have Greenland, Canada, Mexico. The country we're going to talk about today is a part of Central America. These countries are what we call Central America. They are a part of the continent that's called North America. This country is the one we're going to talk about today. It's pretty small, but there are a lot of amazing people and animals that live in this country. The name of the country is Belize. Belize shares a border with Mexico and Guatemala. It also, as you can see, is right on the coast of the Caribbean Sea. This is an area that's known for beautiful water and beautiful beaches. Belize on land is mostly covered with forest. Almost all of Belize is covered in forest, rainforests. So there are lots of jaguars and big cats and beautiful birds and a very special animal called a tapir, which we're going to read a book about. The people in Belize come from many different cultures and speak many different languages. The 3 most common languages are English, Creole, and Spanish. That's why we counted in Spanish before we switched to see the map. All right, let's learn more about tapirs. Before I read you the book, I wanted to show you a picture of a very special place in Belize. This is the Great Blue Hole. Do you see how there's a dark blue circle? That is a marine sinkhole. So the reason it is so dark is because that hole goes down into the Caribbean Sea around 400 feet. Around the Great Blue Hole, that is Lighthouse Reef, where many types of coral grow. So people sometimes come to Belize to do scuba diving trips, and they go down into the Great Blue Hole and they explore the different types of sharks and fish and coral that they can find there. This is something that I had never seen before, and I thought it was really interesting, so I wanted to share that with you. Okay, now let's read a book. So this book is about Belize's national animal, which is called a tapir. A tapir is an animal you might not know much about, so let's learn. This book is called South American Tapirs by Rachel Lynette. In a grassy area by a lake, a mother tapir and her calf rest. It is the middle of the day, but they are sleepy. The mother and calf were awake all night searching for food. A tapir is a mammal with a long, bendable nose or snout.
Adult tapirs are very large. They can weigh up to 700 pounds. This picture here shows that if an adult and a child were walking along and an adult tapir walked up, that's about how tall it would be. It would be about taller than an adult's hip. That's a pretty big animal. They have brown or red fur and a short mane on their heads and necks. Tapir calves have white stripes and dots on their fur when they are born. Although they do have a mane like their parents, it's much shorter. South American tapirs live near lakes, rivers, and swamps in rainforests. Some other kinds of tapirs, however, live high in mountain forests. And in Belize, that's where tapirs live. They live high in the forests. No matter where they live, most tapirs spend time near water because they like to swim. Tapir calves can swim when they are just a few days old. The water keeps them cool and washes insects from their bodies. When they are afraid, the calves go underwater to hide. They can hold their breath for several minutes. A tapir uses its long nose to sniff out fruit and other plants. It also uses it to grab hold of things, such as branches. To breathe underwater, the tapir uses its snout like a snorkel. So this shows a picture of a child using a snorkel. If a human wanted to be underwater for a long period of time, they might use a snorkel to breathe. A tapir uses its snout, kind of like a snorkel. A mother tapir has just one calf at a time. When she's ready to give birth, she finds a safe hiding spot on land. She does not want predators, such as jaguars and crocodiles, to find her newborn calf. A mother tapir sometimes leaves her new calf alone while she looks for food. However, she expects that her calf will be safe by itself. The calf's white stripes help it blend in with the rainforest's many colors. This makes it hard for predators to spot the baby tapir. At 1 week old, the calf starts following its mother when she looks for food. The pair usually searches for food at night. The calf learns which plants to eat by watching its mother. Tapirs eat many kinds of plants, such as grasses, tree leaves, and fruits. Bananas are one of their favorite foods. By the time it is 7 months old, a tapir calf's stripes have faded. It is not a full-grown adult, however, until it is 18 months old. Once they are adults, male tapirs usually live alone their entire lives. Adult females only live alone until they have babies. When the females are 3 years old, they are ready to start their own family. All right, and this just shows a picture of a baby tapir, which is called a calf. There's a little picture of the mane. And here's a picture of a rainforest. You can see that there's lots of water. All right, well, that was interesting to learn about tapirs. Now, let's make a snack.
All right, so I watched a video that a woman made who's from Belize, and she taught me how to make a special treat called a fry jack, and I'm going to try to make them this morning. I'm going to make sure in the description, I'm going to put a link to the video I watched, because she's probably a better person to learn from, so maybe you and your parents can watch her video too. So, what we need first, we always wash our hands. I already washed mine, but make sure you wash yours if you choose to make this snack. We're going to use a cup, a measuring cup of flour. We're going to use a teaspoon of baking powder. And then any kind of milk that you have, coconut milk or cow's milk. I have almond milk. We're going to do half a cup, and then we're going to do a little splash more. And this is the fun part. You get to use your hands to mix the flour and the baking powder and the milk together. It's gonna be sticky. You see it? Oh, it's sticking to my fingers pretty well. Keep on mixing. Feels kind of like Play-Doh, but stickier. And we actually are making a dough. But instead of playing with it, we're going to eat it. Okay, I might have put a little bit too much milk. So if it's too sticky, you can add some more flour. Mix it up. We want to keep mixing until it is no longer this sticky. We want it to feel like regular dough, like regular Play-Doh. Okay, it's getting there. Ooh, I like this feeling. So fry jacks are something that Belizean people like to make for breakfast. And that is what I'm doing at my house this morning. I am making fry jacks for Billy and I for breakfast. Okay, so our dough is a little bit less sticky. I sprinkled some flour onto our counter so that I can start to knead my dough. I'm kneading it on the flour to make it less sticky. Get the dough off my fingers. And then this is what's called kneading. And a lot of recipes like bread and fry jacks, you knead your dough. Okay. Remember, we don't want it to be sticky anymore. Okay. Now that I made my dough, I'm going to cut it into 3 pieces. 1, 2, 3. And since we are practicing Spanish today, let's count in Spanish. 1, 2, 3. We have tres, or 3 pieces of dough. I'm going to sprinkle some more flour. Oh, that's a lot. I don't need that much. Sprinkle some flour. Take one of the dough balls, put it in the flour, and this is called a rolling pin. I'm going to use the rolling pin to roll out my dough. And it is still sticky, so you can put some flour on your rolling pin. That way it won't stick together. Can you guess what shape I am rolling the dough into? I'm trying to make a circle. Helps if you flip it around a little bit while you're rolling. Okay. After you've made your circle, you cut it in half, and then you make a slit in the dough. So you cut just a little line in the middle. And then you do this with the rest of your dough. This is the part that you can help the adult with. What the adult will do by themselves is get the oil ready for frying. So in a big pan, they'll put enough oil, like a couple inches, and heat it on medium. And that is how you will fry the dough. But frying things can be dangerous for children, so we're gonna make that the adult's job. All right, after you're done with all your dough and your oil's ready, that's when you get to fry the fry jack. Okay, now it's time to fry your dough. This is a job that will be for the adult because working with frying oil can be very dangerous. So maybe you can pull up a stool or a chair and you can stand safely away from the oil and watch, but this will be the adult's job. Once your oil is hot, you're going to take your dough and put it in the oil so it can fry. Those bubbles show me that it's working. My fry cake is frying. If your oil isn't deep enough, then you might have to kind of flip your fry cake over So you can get it brown on both sides. And it'll take around 3 to 5 minutes depending on how hot your oil is and how fried you want your fried cake. Okay, now's the most exciting part. I'm going to try my first fry cake. In Belize, traditionally you would put either butter, honey, refried beans. You might eat your fry cake with eggs and vegetables. I'm going to put some honey on mine. Okay, let's see how it tastes. That was a delicious treat. Thank you for learning with me today, and I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. Bye.